Milton, sleepy time, and eating ass. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do. Hi, Abe.
Well, good morrow, Melissa.
How are you?
Und, how are you? I have stumbled into the best TikTok land because it's like weird boyfriend TikTok somehow. I'm super wholesome. I'm on wholesome TikTok.
I'm not.
And I'm super on wholesome TikTok. And so at the fringes, around the boundary line, at the edges, the bikini line, as it were, of my TikTok, they push and say, "Is this part of wholesome TikTok? Do you like this? Do you want more of this?
Is this for you?
How can we expand your viewership?" So I'm constantly getting boyfriend this, boyfriend that. And I don't know if you are getting German boyfriend you met on Tinder. I find him hilarious.
I
do
do
get
not
him?
get that. No.
Okay. So it's this super, I don't think he's I'm hopeful. We're going to say I'm trusting and optimistic that he's not crazy creepy, but he has this crazy creepy vibe. It is a guy posting content direct to camera, face to camera, talking to you as if you're in the room with him. So you know those kind of TikToks,
yeah,
right?
Sure. Okay.
He is as German as a serial killer might be, right? So he is very tall, very big-eyed, very close-cropped hair, very long, bony, pointy-chinned, staring, and he says, "Guten Morgen, yes, hello. I'm so glad to see you today. And I'm surprised I'm here, yes, because you did not bring your own meat to the barbecue, yes, even though I invited you." So he says all these things like he's talking to you. The big caption at the top says, "You're the German guy you met on Tinder." So it's super cute, like you had a good connection, but all of his German is showing. And he does all these things like, let me poke fun at being German. So it's a cute little inside joke thing, but they're so weirdly specific, and he's creepy and crazy. So that's funny, and I'm not sure why that popped into my head. I forget to the beginning of this rant how this came in. But the other one I super adore, and I don't know if you see it, and I call it bird boyfriend dance. Have you seen? I made my boyfriend do an interpretive dance before he could stay the night. That's the TikTok dance trend going around. Have you seen these?
I have not.
So the guys, so it's the girl from some prone position filming the guy, and they're legitimately poorly done, as in she really did say, "You're doing this if you have any chance," right? So the dude is dancing for his dinner, so to speak, and the music is so weird. It's like jazz interpreted. It's proper contemporary dance.
Oh boy.
And they start doing all this stuff. It is so funny because all of them, I don't know if this was the intent originally, but they all look like birds, like male birds trying to attract women. The dances they do are so stupid and also heartwarmingly wholesome. One guy was wearing a helmet because he kept falling down from the jumping that he was
jumping.
doing.
I thought this was a dance. I don't even understand what's happening. I love the idea of making our men dance for sex. They
literally dance for sex, and they are dancing as a bird might attract a male bird might attract a female bird. So they're doing that thing with their neck where they're going doot, 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 and their arms are going wild, and then they'll stick their leg up and then jump and twist around and then put their hands out. Like, it's crazy, caricaturized interpretive dance. It is so fucking delightful. And every one of them is better than the next because you think, okay, I kind of understand these birds now because this is so stupid. And also, like, I'm not one for puppet stringing, but it's like I've asked you to do something and you're doing it. Or you have captivated my attention. Or anyone this idiotic can't hurt me. So all three of these things are kind of like mild turn on. Like, I get it. I see where this is going.
Can I
see
ask
where this
you?
is going.
Yes, ma'am. Let me ask you. Would you like to see a combination of the German boyfriend and the bird dancing?
No. German boyfriend is serial killer. He would kill you. And his interpretive dance could not possibly happen in such a way where it would be attractive.
Okay.
He's not capable of... There are some things that don't blend. And I'm going to jump right in and tell you the two that don't blend. And it's Josh's mom and cooking. Okay? Because careful listeners will note that I told you, don't
Never
send me any more of
again.
this violent content. And I gave you as graphic, a horrific image as I could conjure. It left you aghast. I won't repeat it. I'm not a horror gal. Even the lists of best horror movies of all time creep me out just to see the clips they play because I get my body has a physical reaction similarly to how I feel when I'm forced to watch these torture tapes that you send me from Josh's mom in her kitchen. And what did you do today? What did you do today? Who are you and are you my friend? And what did you do today? And do you listen and do you learn? And what did you do today? Melissa McCary Brilliant. What did you do?
Today, I saw someone else on TikTok reacting to how awful this woman cooked. But there also was one where the son said, things that just seem right in my mother's kitchen. And all of the things that we said were so wrong about her kitchen, from the filth that you identified at the get-go to the ingredients that are under the sink with the Drano, to just the grossness of all of it, to the condiments that should be refrigerated that are on non-shelf stable on the shelf. Like, the whole thing was so
sitting
offensive.
here as I am in the I'm trying to think of the Peanuts character. What's his name? It's not Dirtbag. What do they call that poor kid? Pigpen.
Pigpen? Yeah.
enough.
Dirtbag is so much better.
Sitting here.
The Mallrats version of Pigpen is Dirtbag.
I mean, honestly, think about it. Pigpen is such a mean name. You don't even think about it, but it's really like calling this kid Dirtbag. And I'm here to tell you, what do you think Dirtbag comes from? It comes from douchebag. What do you think scumbag comes from? They all come from the same place. That's what it's from. Ugh. Okay. Sitting here in my cloud of dog hair, I'm aware I am fundamentally, acutely aligned with the flaw that I could operate a cleaner space for myself.
Okay.
I could.
We
I
all
could. I
could.
typically hire it out. It's the kind of thing where I get wild hairs from time to time and think, I shall demand that children do these tasks so that they not only learn, but they accept it is their responsibility, so that they become good future cohabitators of whatever space they may find themselves in. And then I find myself unable to inspire them to lift their sad ass cheeks off the sofa to join me in the room where I've prepared them a full meal. So house cleaning, not really been solved. That said, some dog hair, a lack of vacuuming, does not rise, or should I say fall to the depths
Like, it's lower. Yeah.
of Josh's mom and whatever Josh and Josh's mom. Okay, so this sickening duo, I don't know why you're even laughing.
Because
even when I
they're
mention
so
them,
gross and they eat there. And I thought of this ridiculously handsome black guy who gets on TikTok and says, you can't eat at everybody's house.
You can't eat
and
at
I love it
everybody's
so
house.
much.
That's right.
And a girl
my God.
she measured butter with her teeth. She bit it off the stick and put it into her mac and cheese. And he went, you can't eat at everybody's house.
I will stick my hands in the salad bowl and rustle the greens with the dressing with my hands. I will do that with my clean hands, and then I wash my hands. That's gross. That's not really, you're supposed to use utensils for this. I have some questionable kitchen habits from someone who is aligned with cooking and the nourishing aspects of food.
Yes.
I'll readily admit it. Would I ever proudly take a video of an air fryer? Don't own an air fryer. Take a video of an air fryer that caked with, I don't even know what to tell you.
What was that? Yeah, there was stuff.
Food particles, grease, burnt on debris, detritus, all of the filth of 1,000 cursed generations were commingling in that air quotes filter that was supposed to keep the thing from touching the whole thing. It's the kind of thing that you would expect to see, and I say this with love and total concern in my heart. It's the kind of thing you would expect to see in a debris mound today in Tampa Bay, awaiting the latest hurricane. It would be on the street. It would be garbage that had been fouled by some unnatural event
and
left
never
outside.
cleaned up. And never cleaned up inside where you eat.
It would just be more evidence of the destruction and the pestilence that befell our family. But no.
Pestilence.
Josh's mom and Josh have this cooking appliance proudly displayed in their home, probably in frequent use, and now on TikTok. She kept a bottle of open red wine under the sink next to toxic chemicals, cleaning products, like leaning against a dripping bottle of counter cleaner with visible counter cleaner on the outside of the bottle. So now it's touching the wine bottle. Let's get into
the lemon juice was next to that one too. Why are these things under the sink?
They're not. They're the levels of not. I don't know if I've told this story before, but one of my tales of Western North Carolina, which is why I hold it so near and dear to my heart, is because there's a lot of mountain folk. There's a lot of hillbill folk that are out there. And when you're driving from place to place or using it as a stopover on the way to Tennessee or going to Indian reservation or wherever you're going, Native American reservation, all the things, right? You find yourself on some crazy back roads, and you go to places like Grandma's Country Kitchen with K's, all the things. Order the K's. Order the meat and three, which if you don't know what a meat and three is, you're already okay. So they bring me this plate of bone-in deep fried chicken, and I thought we're in the right place for that, right? I pick it up, I bite into it. With a bite, I decided I'm not going to fork and knife it. I'm just going to bite it. I bite it. Totally fleshy and pink, not cooked, right?
Ooh, that's a problem on back roads too. Ugh.
Put it back down, and I think, what the fuck am I going to do now? And normally, I don't say nothing. But I thought, I'm really hungry. There's nothing else around. I'm super kind of grossed out. I feel, here's what I need to do. I need to report it. It's not about me getting something else, but they can't do this to somebody
them.
else.
Report it to them.
I need to report to them that this occurred, right? So the waitress comes back, hey, how y'all doing back at blah, blah, blah. Looks down, and I just turn the plate to her, and I always try to be quiet about it. When I find rotten food in the supermarket, I'll pull somebody over, and I'll gently tell them, because nobody needs to hear, there's rotten food in the supermarket. I mean, of course there is. How could there not be? It's too big a place to police. So I spun it around to her, and I said, I just want to let you know, chicken's not cooked. It's probably unsafe. Just telling you. You don't have to do anything about it. She said, that ain't right. Picks up the whole plate. Took it away from me. And I thought, okay, she's just going to do the right thing. I don't have to ask for another piece of chicken. She's going to solve it. It's fine. Blah, blah, blah. Chat. She comes back about 8 minutes later. Okay, with the same plate, baby, with the same piece of chicken, with the bite mark in it, that had gone back in the deep fryer to be thoroughly cooked. Served to me again. So, which if you're not aghast, let me just give you a little tip off, which is so much worse than serving me the raw chicken to begin with, because the food that I had in my mouth went into the fryer that serves everybody else's food and came back she couldn't even get me a new piece of chicken back on the plate. And why on earth?
I don't think that's legal. I understand there are no laws in the back of woods that you have described in this elegy that you are. Yeah.
I'm super excited about the laws in North Carolina. Can I tell you a law I learned just today that makes me very happy for my state? There's a guy on the Today Show because he uses car insurance safe driver apps. You can have an app that tells them it's like a GPS tracker for when you drive. Yeah, it tells that
you're a safe driver, right? You don't go this far over the speed limit.
He's a super nerd and noticed that his rates went up and his driving record was poor. And he said, but me a good driver. Me use app. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So he went and looked. Come to find out, he had ridden a fucking roller coaster and it registered the roller coaster as him driving erratically off-road at high rates of speed. And increased his car insurance.
Was that app on his phone? That was a phone app?
Oh, shit. He was like, come on now. So blah, blah, blah. Cut to end of story. And they say, here's all the ways to protect yourself. North Carolina, for example, has a law that these apps can never be used, the data from which can never be used to raise your rate, only to lower it.
Look at you.
But not all states have that. Some states, it's fair game. So if you use this app, and you go on a roller coaster, and they think you a crazy McNut, they're going to take your rates and go, pachoo! So I was like, thank you, North Carolina, for once trying to protect us from these crazy non-tech, I don't know what, e-commerce vultures.
I totally take advantage of when my watch thinks that I'm like, when my watch thinks that I'm working out and it works in my favor. But when that bitch
watching
turns
a movie
on you
with a huge anxiety
and
response, I'm like,
raises your-
get them circles, get them.
and raises your insurance rate because of it, fuck that. But when the app is like, hey, I see your heart rate is up, you must be running right now.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm watching Josh and
running
Mama
running from logic.
Right.
Yeah. Running for the toilet to throw up after watching Josh and Josh's mama. See, what are you? The whole thing.
I know. I'm sorry.
The whole thing.
You know what
it's
happened?
Gross.
I was watching baseball, and as I'm watching baseball, my team is not winning, so I open up TikTok so I can scroll. Instead of having my watch think that I'm running a mile, I try to take the edge off of losing. However, are you watching any baseball right now?
A little. I'm surprised to learn that I'm watching a little. And it's creeping in from all the places. There's a political show that I like to watch, and the host is interested in baseball to the point where she mentioned it on the show. Somebody's monitoring the Mets game, and I'm like, well, first of all, you're a Mets fan? I don't know about this. Okay.
That's the Phillies game, by the way. It is not the Mets game. And are your family, I think I saw your son post about the Phillies. So are they all still Philadelphia fans down there?
It's kind of a birthright, so yes. I don't care about baseball. I like it when you're at that moment, when everything's riding. I like it when it becomes an exciting game. I'm not ready to literally walk the bases with you from the first pitch. Like,
right,
I can't
April,
get there.
you're out. But once
there.
we get to Red October,
I mean, in a given game, friend. Like, I'm ready when it's at the end and it's exciting. I'm like, so we have two people on the bases, another one coming. This person is throwing really hard. This guy did a flop. Okay, maybe something's going to happen in the next. I'll give you 9 hard minutes. Sure, I can do that.
And
Beyond
if they get
that,
you, but if they get you, they get you. If they don't, you're like, yep, that was your time, and we're out.
Well, my television also talks to me. All the televisions they're like in a little community of their own, so they all talk to each other. So when you go into a different room, it's like, did you want to? I know that you were with my friend in the other room. Do you want me to put it on in here? I was curious about Las Vegas and their new gamble and what you might think of that. Their new gamble, of course, being they blew up the Tropicana today, which is just sad. Very sad. But part of it is to double down, see what I did there?
Yeah.
On becoming a sports entertainment city. So they are attracting, it looked like, they put the logos up. I don't know who the fuck they are, and I don't care enough to fact check it. So the Ram and the Raider and the ball thrower, all of them.
Right.
There's
they
at
got a
least
professional
3.
football
could be,
team.
Could be
and
4.
Okay, go ahead.
Could be 4. They kept adding the logos, and it made it made a diamond. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 logos that were up on there, and I don't remember, all coming to Vegas or being lured to Vegas. I gotta tell you, it sounds like a brilliant scheme. It sounds like a brilliant scheme.
I mean, if you have the teams and your whole business is, well, 2 businesses are prostitution and sports, it feels like it's a natural connection.
Okay, didn't go there. Also smart. That's a smart co-brand. But what I'm thinking instead,
add cannabis and I'm moving. Like, here we go.
What I'm bound.
It's a job, entertainment.
Bail bondsman. Yeah. So what I'm thinking instead is you have the infrastructure that other cities don't necessarily have and must replicate in order to sustain these leagues. You can build a limited number of stadiums of a scale and a size that can be shared resources among the teams. So you can cut costs. You can boost viewership. You already have, you're a hub for the flights. You already have additional multi-day venue entertainment stay play possibilities that would lure someone for a game right? So it's the perfect storm.
It's all baked in.
Why did we not centralize this before.
What I
this
hear
notion,
is
go
you
ahead,
upset that you did not market this to someone. Yeah, it's all baked in. You have an in-house, yeah.
I love the idea. I want people to do well. I love that Vegas, like the cockroach, will continue to reinvent itself and just find a new piece of drywall to chew on. We're never going away. I don't care we're going to figure it out. We're going to make this desert into money. Doesn't matter how. So I'm, Kamala Harris talking yesterday on Howard Stern about going to the Sphere. So, and she's basically said, and I quote, "Don't go in there high because it's way too much. You got to go in there with a clear head or you will lose your mind. But if you clear-headed, it's definitely worth it and very cool." I was like, okay. I guess you know who you're talking to.
I say go in soberish, get high, get the experience, and then, yeah. A lot of people had bad things to say about that interview. Like, it was softball questions. Like, what do you want him to ask her? Like, this is just sharing her with another audience that
I don't care about softball. I also don't care about former President Trump going on venues where he gets softball questions. What is that the stick? Is that the yardstick now
that we're measuring?
I liked that they tended to be appropriate questions for the audience and the venue.
Sure.
He didn't ask her about
his
policy.
Audience's questions.
He asked her about what are your musical influences and do you really collect vinyl and what happens when you go into the Sphere and
you worked at McDonald's and tell me
how hard it is to work there or is it easy to work there and this and that. That's the kind of stuff that I wouldn't expect. I wouldn't expect, I was like, say Diane Shore. I can't remember who the newscasters are.
CNN is not asking those questions.
Wolfie, yeah, Wolf Blitzer, who has never interviewed anybody anymore. But let's just give it to you, Wolf.
I wonder why
he's not going to say, "Madam Vice President, may I ask you a question?" Yeah, no, you can't.
Did you dip a fry directly into that cheesy sauce as you were walking
ketchup or
past?
honey? Yeah, no.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah, I definitely love the honey cup at McDonald's. It's better than natural honey because they, of course, fill it with McDonald's, and it's so good.
I've never had any of that.
Oh, the McDonald's honey cup. And there's a difference. They call it literally a honey cup because akin to their sauces, it comes in that little molded plastic, extruded plastic tray with the thin flap poly top that you pull off, as opposed to a ketchup packet, which is basically like a little bag that you rip the corner off and squeeze out. They have honey in those little ketchup size formatted. There's not the same.
Did they not have
honey
that
cup?
Here? Is that a Southern thing or
no? It's everywhere, and it's from my childhood. They've stopped doing it because it's expensive, and people don't. When you ask for honey, they will invariably try to give you honey mustard. So you have to say, "May I have a honey cup?" Sometimes they will give you honey packets, and I'll say, "No, it's a honey cup." And I'll advise them how they have to go find this. I haven't been to McDonald's in over a year, but this would be the go-to. I would get the chicken nugget meal, which is not chicken either, and I would get fries, and I would get 3 honey cup, and then you basically use the honey over all of it, and it is the greatest thing you've ever had in your life.
It sounds like it.
It is. It is. And that's just Nashville hot chicken without the hot. Because really, when you think about it, that's what it is. I made the best. I'm sorry, I'm talking like a crazy person today. I haven't even had any coffee, but I made the best Mike's Hot Honey Chicken. It was so simple. I have to tell you because it was delicious. You're going to love it. It's very easy. Chicken breasts in a pan. I'm tired of I've made so many chicken breasts in a pan. I'm just inventing new ways to season the fucker. So I was like, what haven't I put on it lately? So it's a strange combination. It really works. So just go with me. Hot pan, cool oil, food doesn't stick. Okay, so get the pan screaming hot, turn it down a little bit so the oil doesn't scorch. Put the oil in, immediately put the raw patted dry chicken breast in, not even seasoned. I season the top as the bottom is cooking, and then I flip it and season the other. Just saves time, saves dirt. So into the pan it goes. Cover that chicken breast with all from Shakers in your spice cabinet. Ginger, white pepper, ground sage, salt, garlic. If you want to use garlic salt, you can. If you want to use garlic powder, whatever. Okay, now, before you flip it, this is the crucial weird part. Before you flip it, drizzle and coat the whole top side with Mike's Very Hot Honey Sauce. So when you flip it over, it makes an instant sticky, seared,
Coating.
charred, cooked on a backyard barbecue for 6 hours, barbecue, smoky, kind of slightly Asian tasting deliciousness flavor, crusty, gooey, stick seal on that side. Do the same thing on the other after you flip it, right? And the stuff on the top drizzles down into the pan and it kind of foams up a little bit. And so that gets up all on the sides. So the whole thing is literally glazed, crystal coated with this shit. You take it out, and it's made a crisp on the outside. It's difficult to cut through, but the inside of the chicken, of course, still crazy moist, just totally falls apart. It's delicious. It's so fucking easy, all in one skillet.
Now I'm hungry.
Do it. Do it.
I'm really mad at you now that I'm hungry.
It's delicious, and it's so easy. It's so good.
I do want to talk about the hurricane that's coming, but first, my main issue is I was wronged, and I need to know how I can...
Did a friend send you TikToks from somebody who's noxious? Is that what happened?
Worse.
Is that what happened?
It's worse.
Okay. Well, how were you wrong?
Today is my 25th anniversary.
Happy Doodle Day.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
We have purchased for ourselves, my spouse and I, significant size gifts for ourselves, and that was our anniversary presents. One was art. One was supposed to be a piece of jewelry. One is season tickets to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Hey!
That's a pretty significant gift. And it's, so we said with these words, not implied, with the actual verbiage. So our anniversary is coming and we are physically giving each other nothing, correct? Because we have spent...
We are physically giving each other all the prior gifts.
Correct.
See list.
See also, exactly, the appendix at the end of this conversation. The appendices share with you how many things we've already... So we agreed, even to last fucking night when he started the conversation and said to me... Nothing, right? I really have nothing, Melissa. Sure, nothing.
So he's a fucking liar. Okay,
I wake up this morning and the kitchen island, like I'm a child on Christmas, has like a million gifts on there for me. Like small. First of all, there's 24 roses on the counter. Great. We all know how I feel about flowers. That's a job. You just gave me a job.
Throw them in the street? Yeah.
No, they are beautiful, and that was lovely. And that would have been the be-all, end-all of you give your wife flowers for her anniversary. But there were like 10 other gifts sitting there, and I thought, you fucking asshole, which is not what you want to think when somebody is lovely and gives you gifts. Like, that's not.
Yeah, it's not usually the first line of the thank you card. Right.
Right. That is not how you respond. So I'm like, we had an agreement that we were not going to spend money past the ridiculous money. Did I mention both of my children are applying to law school right now? We do not have loose cash. I mean, unless he went through the couch, which is where he sits, and found shit that fell out. And I was wronged this morning on my anniversary. And instead of seeing the beautiful card that he wrote me with 25 years worth of vows to me, which was so beautiful, and just basking in how amazing that was, smoke started to come from my ears and all of my other face holes, because we had an arrangement. We had an agreement. We were not doing this. And it was the one thing that kept me calm when I knew I had a wedding to perform. It was the one thing that kept me calm knowing I was going to visit my parents. The one thing I didn't have to worry about, because we made a deal that I don't have to think about you. You are a sure thing and understood to be a safe place. And what the fuck did you just do? Tell me you're a safe place, and then you just pulled the rug out from under me. So even though you were warm, delicious, and wonderful in what you wrote, I'm so fucking mad at you right now for putting me in a position where I don't want to spend frivolous money. I don't want to do that. And today, my choice is get over it and say, well, you're an idiot, and now you have to go without a gift for... I just feel wronged, and that's not who I am. I am, at the core, an excellent gift giver, but I was duped into, no, baby, you don't have to worry about this for months. Like, we're not doing this. We're going to do these big things for each other. And then out of nowhere, the Christmas tree was all full up. My stocking runneth over. What?
Right.
I mean, I have a small plan right now, but what the fuck
No,
am I supposed to
abandon
do?
your plan. I've been waiting patiently, but I'm just going to cut in and say, whatever your plan is, it's the wrong thing. Do not stop. Close that door. Back up slowly. Turn the opposite
I'll
direction.
tell you my
Start
plan
running
when you're
away.
done, but go ahead.
Dude, you're not doing that plan. Whatever your plan is, it's not the right one. Now, I'm going to be a friend to you, which means you won't like what's about to happen. So buckle up.
Buckled.
Okay. I'm going to treat this with the sincerity
Uh-oh.
with which I know you feel it. Because on the surface, this could be a silly thing. For people who don't know you, it could be a humble brag. It's not what this is, right? This could be, oh, what am I going to do? This could, in many ways, we could just pretend it's not, you need to get over it. It's not a big deal. I don't believe that it's any of those things. I think that this is a turning point in your life.
If you don't say betrayal right now, unplug.
I think this is a turning point in your life. And I think it's an
Wow.
opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a very big opportunity. And it's notable that it comes on such a special and intimate commemoration.
Don't tell me to be gracious. I don't have
No,
that.
I'm not telling you to be gracious.
Okay, good.
I'm telling you to use this as a, wrong words, therapeutic moment for yourself, as a learning exercise. The gifts that are on the table are for you. They are not about you. And you are making them about you. This is your husband showering you with his awareness and appreciation of all that's here. This is his abundance of joy overflowing. And your resistance to receive it is the thing to investigate. Not the gift, not the fact that you had an agreement that you took very seriously and he interpreted a different way. That's not what this is. So it's not.
Last night,
it is
I'm handing you nothing. You understand that, right? Yes,
right.
I understand that. You're handing me
you
nothing.
two play a lot of games in this way.
That's not
untrue. You
untrue.
play a lot of games to surprise it. So these fall within your intimate relationship. This is part of your social contract with each other, that you're okay playing these games. The pattern of your lives is about, and I'm just using the word games for stick in any other
I'm
word.
with you.
You have a habit where a gentle misrepresentation done with love is excused as not a betrayal. It was a way to get your son here for your birthday. It was a way to have the magician pop out of the cake, whatever the thing is, right? So these sorts of things, you've weathered that and you've accepted that. And if you don't like it, that's another thing to investigate and say, you know what? That's not what that was for me. And I need to know why I feel trust was broken, and it's a much bigger thing. I don't think it's any of that. I think this comes down to your awareness of an ability to receive. Because
you are not wrong. This is a lifetime struggle for me.
Well, it needn't be.
I'm getting a little triggery. The heat is rising in the room.
It needn't be, because you're wanting to block the goodness from coming in. Because when it comes in, you are fully receiving the abundance and the love and the joy with which it was given. You are a partnership in that joy. You receive it, right? And you are also affirming, I am open to receive. I am worthy to receive. I deserve this and so much more.
Things Melissa would never say for 1,000.
And the pleasure that comes with it, and the connection that comes with it, and the freedom to receive that comes with it, and the release of all burden and reciprocation that comes with it, and the acceptance of happiness and joy in this moment. These are the things that you're resisting, not whatever box was on the counter. She's waving her arms in the air like a bird doing an interpretive dance to attract a mate. Okay, right. You got it. You got it. And I would have sex with you.
Let's go.
I'm going to keep going. So just
no,
sit with it.
This is 50 years of therapy pouring out of your mouth. This is everything I've ever dealt with. Do you remember the conversation when my mother was in the hospital and everybody brought her a gift card and all those things, and they said, "Oh, Sharon, how do you feel?" And she
like a burden or something.
Yes.
What'd she say?
That how do you feel obligated?
Obligated.
Obligated.
Yes. God.
So you're saying I come by it honestly. This is
we could walk that path. We could go, down the witch's road or whatever the song is. Okay, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to think for a second about you, right? Ignoring everything that brought you here and instead just focusing on the moment. That's the thing. It doesn't have to be bigger than this moment. His intent really had nothing to do with you. It wasn't about you. It was for you and to you. So we don't need to make it about you.
He called
and
you,
anything
didn't
that
he?
came before.
He
I
called
didn't
you.
even know that I didn't know this was on the fucking topic. I'm getting ready to go to a wedding, and I'm thinking about the gift, and you talking about gifting. I thought that's where we were going. So I didn't, of course, you know me. I'm never fucking prepared. This is top of the head. Shut up. I'm going to just keep going.
Okay.
So here's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
You are wealthy. You are favored. You live a life of abundance. Yes? Agree?
Agree.
Agree. So sit with that. What does abundance mean to you? What does wealth mean to you?
Guilt.
Obligation. You're worthy of it and so much more. You are worthy of it.
I was duped.
You're focusing on the wrong thing. Focus on, I love connecting with my husband. I love receiving from my husband. I love it. I love receiving from the world. I love the bounty of the world. I love all the gifts I've been given, right down to this brain and breath in my body. I love it. I'm a good steward of it. I'm worth it. It's a little scary to feel the power of that worthiness, and I'm going to lean into it. That's all this is. And honestly, he's not thinking any of that shit. He's thinking, I love my wife. I'm going to buy something. I love my wife. I love my wife. I love my wife. Ignore what you told me. I mean, that's the whole history of your relationship, right? He doesn't listen to you. He doesn't do the smart thing. He's like, nope. She told me no surprise parties. Let's do a surprise party and plan it for 16 years. I can't wait to do a surprise party. Yay!
I'm starting now. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is part of it. If it is too big a homework assignment to delve into why receiving these gifts why you're resisting this, then instead focus on the thing that requires no effort. And that is understanding that to receive them with joy is a gift back to your husband. That what you can give him, the best gift that you can give him, is to receive this with the genuine intention with which it was given. That you can receive it with love, that you can be moved, that you can feel the power of this thoughtfulness, of this gesture, of this conscious reassignment of precious resources exclusively for your use and benefit and glory. That's what this is.
You threw glory in there. Wow.
He
made it
worship.
Worship
glory is more important
than canned tuna and
ramen noodles. And the other thing that is tied up in this, which I'm going to fucking go there because I'm living it myself. I'm in transition and I live it on a new level now, right? He fundamentally, in his bones, soul deep, knows that there is always more money. He is not afraid. If you lost every resource that you had today, tomorrow, he would set a path to make more and make it. He has been educated. He has been, proper use of the word, groomed. He has the genes. He has the experience, right? And he has the mindset that there's always more for me. I'm a man of abundance. I create worlds. Let's go. So there's no fear there. The resources are not scarce to him. And when they are scarce, it's just an opportunity to build more. So that's not part of it for him. He's not looking at this as an allocation of resources at all.
But you know that all. I am, because I am the underemployed human who is in this relationship. And
anyone who has not exchanged revenue for effort in recent days feels the way you feel. It's not a gender-based thing. We are a community and a society where compensation for effort equals worthiness. It is very difficult in our mindset, in our culture, probably the world over, for people to still feel worthy and abundant when they are not receiving financial compensation in exchange for anything. When you don't have it, it's very difficult to summon this instinct of, I have the weight and import of kings and queens.
Right.
I'm worthy. Right. So because we've tied it so much to economics. These gifts are not an economic gift. if he had left you money on the table like a whore, you wouldn't actually be sitting here thinking, I'm not worthy of this, because you know you fuck better than a whore.
I'd be
and
like, thank you very much. That's all you think I'm worth?
Thank you. I'm expecting gold bars,
You
bitch.
have taken me from on the roof to the front lawn without the jump. I appreciate you. I do want you to know, because this is not going to post till well after he gets it, I am definitely now going to the car wash place and getting like a booklet for 25 car washes for our
You're
25th
so
anniversary.
Funny. You're
because
so funny.
because okay, I understand what you're saying. I still have, and I know something he wants and already will spend money on, right? He'll already do that. So if
okay. How about this?
Yeah.
I know you don't want to talk about this. You didn't sign up to talk about this.
Right.
I'm forcing you to do it. You're
Go
trying
ahead.
to get off it. I've learned. Too bad. We're staying.
Go ahead.
Here's what's going to happen. He's going to buy those anyway. There's no amount of money that you can spend on him that communicates higher value
Then the coupon book of sex treats that he's looking for, or okay,
I
I'm
want
sorry,
your
go ahead.
I want your gift to him
Yeah.
to be received. I want your gift
He
to
would
be
like
that you
too.
have received.
He would like that too.
Don't be gross. I want your gift to be that you acknowledge that there is no financial outward gift that is owed or that you could possibly conjure, I'm going to start crying, that is greater than your love for the connection you share with him, as evidenced by his unwillingness to honor your most basic request to prioritize resources away
Elsewhere,
from me.
right?
Yeah. And he said, no, I'm not going to do that, because if I did that, I would betray how you are our greatest resource in our family.
Oh, now you're going to make me cry.
He doesn't want you to tell him he can wash the car himself, because hot tip, he knows it. And P.S., if you don't have any earning potential, anything you buy him comes from his coffers anyway. It's stupid. It's a stupid exchange. This is not commerce. This is emotional connection. And at 25 years, dig deep, write a letter back to him like the one he wrote you, and force yourself to give him an item of non-monetary value. Because that is what he is acknowledging. The 25 years of shit that can't be bought anywhere. You don't even want to receive it. So the act of receiving is your gift, right?
Do you hear that, honey?
This is not a transactional exchange.
Do you hear that, honey? We are not transacting tonight.
I feel like I said that.
We are.
I don't feel like I said that.
I'll work on
I'm
your
just-
coupon book today. It's fine. Fuck. I will receive.
There's no coupons. It's not. But you're even doing it again.
Receive.
You need to give emotion. You don't give act. You don't give future. You don't give commerce. You don't give product. You don't give service. You give connection in the form of receiving. I receive everything that you give me, and here's the kicker.
Obligated.
And I am open for 25 years more of connection with you.
He wrote in the card 22
No strings.
more years, and I thought, what's
Why?
happening then?
What's that mean? I'm not very good at math, but why? What
Maybe it was his
is
writing.
he like doing the actuarial table of romance?
It was his writing. I don't know
Subsection
what
2, item B, bullet point A. I love you. Asterisk.
For 47 years only.
You came to me in a dream when I was a young man. Footnote.
Oh, footnote. Appendice 3. All right. I am grateful for the therapy. Dear listener, thank you for being here for it. I hope that helped you in some way. Do you know what is not helpful?
Usually me.
No, that was usually you? Okay, maybe. But no, that was incredibly helpful. And you kind of, like I said, took me off the roof, and now I'm on the lawn. And now I'm even debating getting that coupon book that's not sexual.
You must use this inflection point as an opportunity to expand your heart.
By receiving.
You have to make more room in your heart for all the goodness to flow into it, and stop focusing on what's flowing out of it. You cannot have abundance without overflow, and you're not at the lid yet. Receive until it flows over. You have to receive it before you can give it. You're giving from what you need for yourself. Instead, you have to get to a point where you have more than enough that you need for yourself, and from the overflow is from which you give. That's what you need to do. So do that.
I appreciate you. I will allow. When we were at that wedding last weekend, looking at my family on the dance floor, my cup definitely runneth over. I understand.
You know the feeling.
I know
You've
that
been
feeling.
in the zone,
yeah,
right?
And recently, so it's not
And
like
it's
it's
easy.
a foreign feeling. I will tell you that I got a text from the bride from that wedding. And she said she went back to work. Again, this is a second marriage. They understand it doesn't always work the way, oh, I'll take my honeymoon immediately.
Right. We're not taking 2 months to cross the Orient.
Portugal is out right now.
Right.
We have jobs and lives
Sub-Saharan safari.
grown kids. That's so funny because the June wedding I went to, they went on safari. They did exactly the
must
nephew.
Be nice for you. Okay.
It is very nice for them. So knowing full well that the whole cup runneth over, we get a text from the bride, and she says, she works at the same hospital in labor and delivery with all of the nurses who were at the wedding with my spouse, so they kind of know him from being somebody who creates work for them on the reg.
Sure.
So I get a text that says, everybody at the hospital said it was such a great wedding, and I don't completely agree. I saw the thing. I was very nervous. I understand. It was lovely. They are what made it amazing. They thought you were Stuart's daughter.
Ew. Okay.
You say ew, I say thank you.
Yeah,
oh
but
my
also,
God.
come on. Yeah.
And
I get it. That's a big compliment. It just creeps me out to think of it. Yes.
Right. I mean, it's not like we were dirty dancing on the dance floor, but you thought, what? I cannot believe that. I'm going to ride for a little while. So that I will receive, right? That
Thank
I will
you.
let flow over me and think, is it because he had white hair? Melissa, it's because you wore that tiny dress.
You
and
deserve it, and you are worthy of it. So accept it and receive it.
Interestingly, I received it more openly when I saw how offended my husband was at the idea of it. But, dear listener, that just makes me a dick. So
no, I did the same thing because I didn't go to highest possible compliment for a woman.
Right.
Instead, I was like creepiest fucking assumption for a man.
Well, because they only knew him, right? So I could see why you would go there.
I was like, Britta. Okay.
But they have different thoughts about him now. She said that he could pull somebody younger, and I'm like, first of all, pull. Second of all, he's a year older than I am. So let's not.
I was gonna say, aren't you even older than him?
Let's not make that joke. And it is still hard for men when they go gray, even at a younger age, to identify with aging. Do you identify with aging now, other than a symptom, or is it something that I still see myself as 23? How could I possibly be 50? That is not a thing in my head. In my body, it is. Don't get me wrong. But in my head, I think, oh, even when looking at our favorite TikTok, I think, oh, I can relate. Oh, no, she's not talking to me. This girl on TikTok, even though I'm trying to relate to her, she is speaking to a generation far below mine in many ways.
I'm just continually surprised by aging. I'm trying to find I'm very thoughtful about the words that I use, and it's tricky because this is very serious for me. So I'll just say it wrong, and then I guess I'll clean it up. I want habit in my life. I want routine in my life. I want to wake up and know that for the past 10 years, I have been applying cream and serum to my neck, and that I have been monitoring glucose spikes and all the fucking things that I don't. Yeah, and I have been doing, like Kamala Harris. It's just a curious example I've had maybe 10 very visible examples this week, some positive, some negative. I'll use her because it's one everybody can relate to. I already knew this about her, but just to hear her say it. Every time I see her in these interviews, she's so striking looking. We're the same age. She is fit and vibrant. I think she's probably 10 years older than me.
I think she's older than you are. Yeah.
I don't have any idea how she and her, whatever it is. For a minute, I thought we were the same age, but I'm like, oh my God, she's maybe, make it up, 10 years older than me. Well, fuck, she's a lot better shape than I am. She exercises every single morning. And I've heard this before. And she forces the people, incites the people around her to exercise with it. It's her habit. Her husband is the one who said, yeah, she exercises every morning. She's got me doing it now. That's when we got together. I wasn't doing that shit, right? every morning, even to the point where, and Howard Stern asked her, well, how do you manage that when you're on the road? And she goes, well, I do the elliptical. And he goes, do they bring it up to your room? And she goes, yeah. So because she's not going to go into the gym for security at the hotel for a fucking security thing, right? Anyway, she's like, it's just my vibe. I get up, I do 30 minutes on the elliptical, and I watch all the show. I'm doing work at that time.
Right.
It's how I kick my morning off, how I get caught up. I do my reports, all the things, right? And I'm like, that's such a wonderful start to the day. And she does it every single day without fail. And you look at her and you see the results of that habit. You do. You see it in the vigor in her step, in the elasticity of her skin, all the things, a clear-eyed, clear-headed way to manage things. You know, she's got the good hair, all the fucking shit, right? For me, I am definitely a pendulum swinger, and I want to be a habit former.
Consistent.
I want to do, right. So I think of aging in that way, and I am always jealous, impressed. I am always, more power to you when I see somebody who is living proof of their daily choices. Because when I see myself, the thing I'm most startled by is the cumulative effect of my daily choices. And for, call it 4 years now, I have really been trying to break up those choices, get on a higher footing, get on a better path. And it's an up and down. It's a roller coaster, right? And I'll make some progress, and then the progress will elude me, and then I will double down on it again, and it will go away. Like the table full of gifts for you.
Yeah.
The challenge here is to accept there is no higher allotment of resources than to pour into myself and my health. And it's very difficult to do. I remove myself from every picture, from every priority list, even when I am thoughtfully demanding that I don't, when I am putting a stake in the ground and saying we are diverting all of this time, energy, attention, resources, prioritization to me and to me exclusively, I somehow still cheat it so that that's not so. And I that's a hard one to break. It's a real hard one to break because I am fucking worthy. I know it. I deserve it. I somehow have concocted this version that my worth is my ability to blast force everything out to everybody else, expecting the rest to bounce back to me. Like somehow
to bask in the
somehow that's the best way to do it. So I'm having to invert this notion of identity and self. And it comes back to, how do you deal with aging? I have not been a good steward of my health. I see friends and family members who are having health struggles, and they're shocking. They're shocking. And I think, that's me tomorrow. I have to find a way to prioritize this above all else, even when it feels like there's no money for it, and it feels like there's no time for it, and it feels like it's not the number one thing. Because like so many things, everything is downstream of this. Everything in your life is downstream your connection with your spouse in your household. Everything is downstream of my health as a person. There is no legacy that I'm leaving to anyone. There is no college. There is no transportation to the event if I'm dead. So it has to be prioritized. Has to. It's tough.
I think we're both walking away with a light board coming in and a heavy answer as we leave, which is shocking. I'm going to give you a light story on the quick. In, I want to say Texas, Northgate Crossing Elementary School. Little girl comes home. She's 5 from kindergarten, her full day, with a sticker on her arm. And her mother says, oh, that's interesting. That's cute. You got a sticker today? She goes, no. That's the nap time sticker. There was a teacher in school who put a melatonin / whatever the nighttime stickers were, to make the children sleep during nap time. Did you just say you're drugging the children?
Emphasis on was. That teacher is no longer employed. That's not okay.
That teacher is no longer, is suspended right now during investigation. So this parent calls another parent, and who, I think this was like a sticker got out of the building by accident. So this other parent says, oh, I don't know anything about this. Hold on. Let me ask little Julie what's going on. Julie, does your teacher...
they put them on our tongue. Yeah, unbelievable.
They put it on our arm before, like at like lunchtime before nap, and then we nap. And then they get them all back from each one of us right after nap time. Are you fucking kidding me? You just drugged my kid so you could get an hour prep time? As a teacher, I understand prep time is important. What? You just drugged a classroom full of children?
I don't go there. I don't go there. I truly believe that these professionals, I don't know why I have this as my knee-jerk gut reaction.
Say it.
That they have the deepest, best interest of the children in mind, and they know the power of sleep, and that it is important, and that if this is a way to eliminate distraction and give it for them so that they are going to be their best when they wake up and they can learn, you have to prioritize sleep in the same way that you have to prioritize food.
I agree, but you do that at home at night when you're sleeping, not during the day when mommy sends you to school.
They are 1,000% wrong. This is not the way to do it. I do not endorse. This is shocking behavior. I would fire them all and fire them twice. I still think that they were not doing
by
it.
The way, you're still
I
fired.
don't think that they would have such an organized procedural mechanism just to get admin time. There are different ways to get that. This to me feels like I'm a holistic practitioner. I know what's good for these kids. I'm giving them what's good for them. That's where my brain goes. I don't know these teachers. I don't know their history. They could have been, low dosing them with Benadryl for all I know. Like, I don't know, which is totally not the same thing.
What are you doing giving these children your antihistamine, your nighttime? It was a square sticker with a picture of a moon on it and stars, a little purple with a yellow. And I thought, that is something that you put on your child who you're trying to switch days and nights with, right? They're sleeping during the day and you try, like, that's a child that you are trying to...
I don't think it's something that you put on your child unless your deep research, previous testing, and possible physician have told you to do
Physician tells you, yes.
It's not a universal... I love physicians. I really put more faith in their education and
than our own?
Yeah, I really do. And I'm starting to question that, right? My point is, humans are not monoliths. Each child in the classroom does not have the same physiological makeup that makes this okay. To say nothing of consent.
Okay.
To say nothing of parental involvement. To say nothing of purpose. Is this a convenience for you? All of it. Just all of it.
It's gross, right?
The fucking reactions that could have happened. You don't know what medications that child is even on.
Correct.
You don't know. You don't have any idea what's happening.
So I guess I brought this to you because it's an awful story. However, we are all caught up in
Let's talk about those.
Florida Man. I would like you to know that Texas is an incredible contender to put Florida Man down, and they are an excellent competition.
My favorite thing is one of the TV platforms. I don't know which one. I'm getting such weird promos now because I like that remake of the show Matlock. So they think that I'm 86 years old.
I love that too.
I adore the remake. I've watched it 3 times.
You're
already.
kidding me.
No, I love it.
And the
it's
end of it,
very well done.
And the end, it's very well done. But the end of it, that whole like twist to, what do you think of that?
I like the way it was revealed. And I'm grateful to see it because it dimensionalizes the character and it gives me the arc to turn this into something different and better than every episode will be formulaically solving a new problem with different characters. There's layers to the problem. Which I
Elsbeth
think gives it
was
legs.
Like that too. That show Elsbeth that I love so much.
That's pre-rolled when I finished with It pre-rolled and she was stabbing someone in a really gruesome, intimate way. And I'm like, I'm not watching this. I'm not watching this.
She's a flighty, spectrum-y, amazing human.
I think what they were doing is they opened the show that pre-rolled for me with her in some kind of a vision, right? Where she was imagining a crime. Is she a crime fighter? The other one that I want to see, which I haven't watched yet, is high potential.
Caitlin, she's fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
High potential.
I love it.
We're gonna watch that together, so we've put that aside for later. Okay, last topic. Besides, what are you watching? Which is by far my favorite topic.
Interesting that you are going to Florida, or so you thought. You're not going to Florida. Florida's not there
anymore. It's over.
Well, I'm worried about your parents for a variety of reasons. Not the least of which is, What weather, fucks? I mean, that's a lot.
What weather, fucks?
That's from Hamlet.
What weather, fucks?
Act 2, Scene 8. Yep. Hither art thou, blow.
Somebody right now is looking up Hamlet, Act 2, Scene 8.
There ain't such a one.
For what weather, fucks? Yeah, so
That's like Trump. 2 Corinthians. Like Corinthians 2.
Sir, have you read the Bible? I am going to tell you there are influencers right now from TikTok who are staying to hunker down for this Milton storm hurricane coming to Florida.
You will die. Yeah, not good.
They're saying it's worse than anything that has ever hit the U.S. They could not be clearer. And my parents, their answer was, it's coming in from the west side, and we're on the east side of the state.
Which is as big as my dick.
That's exactly, and that's what it looks like too. So
tell me this: where they at? They're all the way on the east
side.
They're
on the east side,
down by the nozzle of the dick, all the way down.
Not completely foreskin. No, they're closer to like the West Palm area. They're in like a Boynton area.
Yeah, that was listed in the red.
Oh
today.
Yeah. And my husband's parents are 10 miles north of there, also in the red, but not in the. When it hits
Well, did they
landfall.
evacuate?
Where are they going to go? My parents can't walk. Where are they going to go? Their feet don't work.
Are they do they have a second floor to their home?
Florida doesn't actually really
Most
do
of them
that.
don't.
Yeah.
Most of them don't.
They don't have basements. They don't have attics. They don't have second floors. It's a ranch living. Everything's slow and low. That is the tempo.
I got to admit, I'm not happy about the situation, and I'm not happy about influencers. I'm not even happy about the reporting coverage that I see for so many people who are stuck in it, knowing what's coming. When you've got meteorologists absolutely crumbling to tears while doing the reporting.
You saw
Tell
that.
me you've seen
Yeah.
this. Tell me you've seen this. The man was reporting, just giving an update on the millibars of whatever's fucking getting ready to happen. And he was so overcome with the realization of destruction on its way, he couldn't report it without physically crying. He was reduced to tears. And if that doesn't tell you all that you need to know with how ignorant we are to the circumstances of our lives. The train is going to hit you in 30 seconds, in 18 seconds, in 2 seconds. Staying on the tracks, are you? Okay, let's see what happens when the train hits you. I am feeling the cumulative effects of aging and the cumulative effects of ignoring climate and the cumulative effects of so many things. We are cuspy on so much right now. I hate to think that this election is a pivot point and that things can really turn around quickly. It's difficult to hang so much hope on that, but it's kind of all I got. Are we really at the end times? I mean, I know this is a peppy podcast,
and
but
we
Is
released our kids into this world. We're like,
are
if
we
I had
really
known.
at the end times?
Right.
And if so, why do I care about the skin on my neck? Like, that's the other thing. It's like my priorities are completely out of whack.
Let me not buy that coupon book for
Right?
car washes and sex
It's
games.
gonna get wet
if
anyway. We all gonna float away. What car?
Swept
Yeah,
away.
What car, fucks?
I
Yeah,
am
it's-
watching people in Florida wrap their cars in plastic.
Oh my God! I saw this clown
so you can
talking
bubble
to
it?
somebody. Oh my God! I saw him standing there doing his prep for the hurricane, and he was taking a blue tarp, and he was duct taping it to his stucco. And I was like, "That'll hold." Like, why is somebody? What are you doing?
Over
What are you
150 mile an
doing?
hour winds. Even read the duct tape. It says if you go down the chart, 150 miles an hour, go fuck yourself. Oh. Okay, never mind. Go read Hamlet.
Tape on stucco.
Go read Hamlet.
Maybe we don't even need that many words. Let's start with tape. It's not. There's nothing. Tape does not beat hurricane. It just doesn't. There's not hurricane tape.
Popcorn
what are we
ceiling. Stucco. No. So
And I say this with more compassion and literal empathy for people going through this than anyone who is hearing the sound of my voice can even imagine, right? There is firsthand empathy coming your way for life in utter ruin. Now what? and where to.
Just so you know,
yeah,
I fly down on Sunday. So the storm hits Wednesday, Thursday. That's today, right? Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
So I will let you know.
Airports are closed many airports have said they're closing on Saturday. So I hope it'll be back
Closed
open.
through Saturday, you're saying?
As of yesterday, reporting was airports are closing after last flight on Wednesday, or somebody said last flight on Thursday. And the newscasters were sort of laughing, like, I don't know why they think there will be a flight on Thursday. My other favorite is one of the newscasters actually asked the question.
Yeah.
What do you say to people who believe that this was man-made for political purposes? And then after they were done laughing, he's like, it's a serious question because conspiracy theorists really believe it. And he's like, well,
they're not my problem, those conspiracy theorists.
Let me just help you understand how in every possible way that is not only implausible, it's not physical reality. There is no way that this could happen.
Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks it can happen, and we can stop it.
Thing. Well, here's another thing. Okay, then why hasn't it happened and been weaponized against other people first? Why? If this is a weapon in the arsenal, why now and why
not use it against Russia to keep them back from Ukraine?
I will join you in your dementia logic. Yes. I will go into that world and help you in that world understand why even in this world it doesn't work. So,
it's fascinating.
Yeah, it's something.
But yes, I'm sure this is the Biden administration just, weaponizing weather against Republican states.
Well, I'm here to tell you, I have made a connection, just this very light bulb moment, between your fascination with Josh's mom and Josh and folk aligned with the Marjorie Taylor Greenes of the world who have decided that what they're doing is what they're doing. And not really interested in your feedback on it, and at the same time going to triple down because I know eyes are watching. So the question is, are both of them well aware that they are pulling one over on the people who on their audiences?
No.
Or are both of them
Delulu
just not getting it?
Delulu. I think both of those factors are fucking crazy. I think they believe
you
what they believe.
You don't think that Marjorie Taylor Greene is
she's
a
not
mastermind?
In on it. Oh,
you
no.
don't believe that she's not playing all of the system for, and you don't believe that Josh's mom and Josh are actual people who know how to cook and they're just building an audience. For a time, I really thought
definitely
it was
don't
all
think
a
they know how
job.
to cook, but I definitely think they realize their stupidity is getting them followers, and they're like, "Let's do more." They love us, and we're like,
but you have to acknowledge, you have to understand what is stupidity and what is not to be able to lean into stupidity. So that's the part where I get confused. It's a fascinating anthropological study, which brings us all back to TikTok, which is why I have so many screens and addiction and dopamine in my house.
Dopamine, dear listener, what gives you dopamine? Tell us everything. We have wandered and meandered a lot on this episode. There are parts where Amy has saved my marriage. There are parts where she put it in jeopardy. So let's hope it's a zero sum. And
who will win in a cage match?
And we will come back to you tomorrow as my hot flash starts to rise in my face and make me physically uncomfortable. We love you guys. Thank you for turning us on. Come back. Bye. Sell crazy somewhere else. We're all full up.